Hi everyone, today I'm going to show you an LED light that GVM sent out to me to review, and I'm going to share with you my thoughts, some of its features, and some practical uses for LED lighting. So specifically, this is the GVM SD80D 80 watt bicolor LED light, and it's made for content creators, videographers, and even for photographers that want to get into LED lighting setups rather than using, say, strobes or flash. Now the key feature of this light is its small size and portability considering its light output, and also the fact that you can power this AC or DC. So it includes an AC adapter, or you can purchase separately standard NP batteries that you can buy everywhere. Now, as I mentioned, this is an 80 watt bicolor light, which is, obviously more powerful than the typical 60 watt portable lighting setups that you might find. And I verified this because when I put this light into the same softbox, I had to adjust the camera exposure by about a third of a stop, or turn this down to about 80% to kind of get the same lighting that I did from my 60 watt light at full power. Now the light output is adjustable from 0 to 100% in a stepless way, so you get a very smooth transition from bright to dark and vice versa. Also, the bicolor light has a really good range between 2700 Kelvin and 7500 Kelvin, so you can get a very, very warm light at 2700K or a much cooler light at 7500K, which is a really good range. A lot of lights don't have that kind of range. And not only that, the quality of the light is very high. It has a CRI, or color rendering index, of 97 plus, which is extremely high for any LED lighting system. All right, now let's talk about the overall build quality and some of the design elements of this light. One of the things I like most about this light is the large LCD display here, so you can see the brightness levels and the Kelvin temperature and some various other icons, and the fact that it's on the side of the light rather than on the back. I think this really makes it much easier to use, and it's certainly very easy to see even outdoor in bright sunlight. The other thing, and I've mentioned this before, is that it uses standard NP batteries that you can get everywhere, and I happen to have a bunch of them laying around, so I'll never be short of powering this thing when I'm out in the field. But if you don't have any NP batteries, like I said, you can get them everywhere and plug them right in and you're good to go. And the battery life, I found with two fully charged 970 batteries, I got about an hour and a half, no problem at full power, almost 2 hours, but that's probably pushing it a little bit. But if you're running the light at 50 to 80%, you'll easily get over 2 hours of battery life from this light. Another thing I like is that it has a standard Bowens mount built right into the light itself, so you don't have to buy a separate adapter. It's ready to take on any kind of lighting modifiers you might already have. But if you don't have any, when you buy the light just by itself, it does come with your standard, I think this is a 7 or 8 inch reflector bowl. And then also in the video creator kit, you get this light stand, which I'll talk about more, as well as a 23.6 inch diffuser box or octagon box with the grid. And it's only like $40 more to add the tripod and the light diffuser here, the octabox. So it's definitely worth $40 to get these two if you don't have anything already. If you already have tripod and octaboxes and softboxes, you don't need to get that. Now the light stand is actually much better than I expected, considering that this with the octabox is only a $40 add-on. But it has a really good design that's very similar to my other higher end light stands that I already have. But the legs fold down this way and flat, so you get much better stability, and then it extends out to 79 inches. And the joints here for the extensions are very nice thick plastic. They're very solid. It's not really thin snap or click type that I've seen on low-end light stands before. So just be careful though, it's not a high-end professional light stand, so I'd recommend using this mainly indoors in your studio, setting it up and then not moving it too much. But if you are going to use this and take this out on the field, you'll be okay. Just take your time when opening up the legs so you don't bend anything inadvertently when you stretch it out. Now the light box itself measures about 23.6 inches. It comes with a removable grid and a double diffuser pattern inside. And once you get it assembled, it takes a little bit practice to kind of get it down so you can do it quickly. But once you get it assembled, I recommend don't take it apart. It's pretty small, so you can just fit this in the back seat of your car or trunk. and just take it with you as is, so you don't have to waste time setting it up when you're on site. And then the last few design features I want to mention is that you have a standard switch here that lets you select between AC power or the battery power. You have a single command knob here that will let you adjust for the lighting output and or the Kelvin temperature, and also change the different special effects settings which are available. And then there's a single button here on the side to basically reset the light back to factory settings, or activate the Bluetooth setting if you want to use the app, and I'll demonstrate that later. And then finally also to access some of these special effects as well. And then one last feature I want to mention, it has an automated cooling fan system built into the light, so it draws in air from the rear and blows it out through the front over the lamp itself, and it's fully automated. You don't have to do any settings or anything, so that means you can't turn it off. But that said, it is virtually silent, especially at a working distance of 5 or 6 feet or 2 meters, which is probably more typical than somebody holding it like right up to a microphone. Then obviously you would hear it. Now let's talk about the overall build quality of this light. Now keep in mind this is a budget affordable lighting system, but with that said, I think it's very well made for this price point. So we have an all plastic housing on the rear here, which not only keeps the cost down but also keeps the weight down of this light because it's not very heavy. And also we have a plastic light stand adapter here on the bottom, and this is attached permanently or semi-permanently to the light itself via these 4 Phillips head screws. I did take this off to see if there was maybe a 1/4 screw underneath, but there is not. And so what you want to do, because this is plastic and it's mounted to a plastic casing, don't put anything too heavy on the front, any kind of light modifiers. The light modifier that comes with it, the 23 or 24 inch softbox, that's perfect for this. Anything bigger or heavier is, not only going to be out of balance, right, on the light stand, but would just put more weight than I'd be comfortable with a plastic light stand adapter. If you do want a bigger light source, what I recommend is using an umbrella. The light stand does have a little hole here so that you can attach an umbrella. And umbrellas, you could probably attach a 42 inch to this, no problem, because they're super lightweight and will fit right in here and give you a nice big soft light source. Now we do have metal parts where it matters. Of course, the heat sink itself is all metal, designed to help keep the LED cool. The Bowens mount has an all metal casing along with this metal detachment clip, and then the command wheel on the back is also metal. So what you're looking at now is lighting from the GVM SD80D together with the attached 23 inch octagonal softbox, and I removed the grid to get a little softer lighting, but you may have noticed a little bit of a difference because what I was using before was actually a 60-watt LED together with a larger 24 by 35 inch rectangular softbox. So the lighting from the octagonal softbox is a little more direct, as well as it's going to be brighter. And the fact that it's also an 80-watt LED versus the 60-watt, I actually had to reduce the power down to 75% to maintain the same exposure. Now keep in mind, I've been using a single light setup for this entire video because I wanted to show you what you can do with just one light. Most videographers, you're going to set up 2 or 3 lights, right? You're going to have your key light, your fill light over here, maybe some rim light in the back, and that's all great. But if you're just starting out on a budget, you can still do a lot with just one light and a softbox. And I think this lighting kit, it would be just perfect for somebody that really cannot spend a lot of money on lighting, but do want to get more professional results and add a little bit more polish to their videos. And also, this kind of lighting, you don't have to use just indoors. It actually has just enough power that you can use it outdoors in the shade or on a cloudy day to give your videos just a little bit more pop. So let me show you a few examples of that. So this is what it looks like with no light. Outside, it's a little bit cloudy out. And this is with just bare bulb, like no modifier at all on there. All right, let's go ahead and try with the dome diffuser. All right, this is with the dome diffuser on. It's going to be a little bit stronger or brighter light. All right, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to use the diffuser. I'm going to peel this back and just use the single diffuser so I get as much light as possible, because this cuts the light in half every time you add a diffuser. This is a single dome diffuser. Just wanted you to see how this looks and give you a feel for the lighting. And if you're doing any kind of interviews outdoors on a cloudy day, I think this probably would look best. All right, now let's look at some of the features of the app. I'm actually using it on my iPad instead of, say, my phone because it's just easier for me to see. But what I have set now is 5600K at 75%. So that's the proper exposure and lighting that I've been using for this entire video. But let's go, you can change the white balance like so. As you can see, it's probably a little bit warmer now. And I can just touch or do shortcuts to different Kelvin settings. And of course, I can also lower the brightness down or bring it back up. So we were right around 75. And let's look at some of the other things here. We have something called source matching. So if you're not familiar with Kelvin temperatures and doing white balance type stuff, you can choose lighting that might be in the room. So in this case, I'm just in natural light or daylight because I don't have any other lighting in this room other than the one main light from the LED. So this is the proper setting for me. But if you go into a room, say for example, that's using halogen lighting, which is a very warm yellow light, what it's going to do is match the Kelvin temperature of the lighting output from the GVM SD80D to match the lighting coming from that halogen bulb. So these are nice shortcuts. Or candlelight is even warmer, as you can see. So when you set your white balance, or if you're using auto white balance on your camera, you can match all of the lighting in the room between, say, in this case, candlelight and the lighting coming from your LED light. So experiment with that if you're not familiar with working with white balance and Kelvin temperatures. We also have a bunch of special effects here which turns off the light, and then you have to select one of the special effects here. So let's say, for example, let's take lightning, the first one, and we'll click on start. And what that does is it just flashes the light to imitate lightning. And what I might do in a video is overlay like a thunderstorm or something to match what's lighting. And what a lot of people like to do is they'll put their LED light outside of a window so that it's flashing indoors to make it look like the storm is outside. So there's lots of things you can do here creatively. I guess let's look at one other one. Oh, CCT loop. What this will do is just cycle the color temperature of the LED light through its entire range from 2700 Kelvin to 7500. But let me go ahead and reset it back to standard 5600K, and now we're back to normal. Now, of course, you don't have to use the app to control the lamp. It's a completely self-contained unit, and you can change everything via the command dial and buttons on the lamp directly. And you throw some batteries on it, you have a completely self-contained unit that you can take out in the field and do everything. That said, the app does come in handy, particularly like if you have the lamp already mounted up very high on a tripod or light stand and it's hard to reach the controls. It'll be easier just to access it through the phone. And also you have the option to expand the system, so you can add additional lights to the app and control multiple lights either in groups or individually. So it's a very cohesive system overall that GVM has created when you want to expand your lighting setup. So you can get the light individually, which includes the 8-inch dome reflector and AC power adapter, and as of this video it's retailing right now for $159. And actually I went online last night and I saw it for $139 on sale. So that's really a good deal. But if you don't already have a light stand and diffuser, the 23-inch Octabox, I highly recommend you get the Creator Kit because it's only $40 more, and for a retail price of $199, it's really a steal. So definitely check that out as well. And of course, I'll have links down below that you can check out if you want to read some of the fine print, maybe of something I didn't cover in this video. But that's all I have for today. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope to see you again soon.